If you shrink when it's your turn to speak, these are the only two ways that you can improve confidence. Number one is exposure, and number two is competence. Now I'm going to go through both of these in more detail. So let's get into it. Number one, exposure. Now exposure is all down to your comfort zone. But before we even get into that, we need to establish, what do you want to be confident in? Because just saying, I want to be a confident speaker, is like saying, I want to start the gym. It's so vague. People that actually achieve what they want to do in the gym set specific targets. For example, I want to lose 10 pounds in the next 10 weeks. I want to go to the gym 3 times a week. I want to do cardio once a week and weights 2 times a week. Specific targets that will actually give them something to achieve instead of, I want to improve my communication. It's quite hard to grasp what area you want to improve in when you just say communication, because there could be social communication, it could be presentations at work, it could be speaking with your family in awkward situations. There's so many different environments that you can improve in. So first of all, establish your goal. So before you do any of this, what is the goal that you want to do? Where do you want to be confident in? And then we can move on to the next bit. Now, exposure works to the individual. It does not work to the mass. And what I mean by that, I couldn't give you one exercise and it worked for everyone, because everyone's got different comfort zones. Just like when you go to the gym, everyone has a different 5K time. They all have a starting point. Everyone here has a starting point. This is your starting point right here. And what you need to do is go one step higher. Because if you're down here, and let's say you want to get confident doing presentations, but you're not very confident speaking to one person yet, and you go all the way up here trying to do a presentation in front of 100 people at work, you're going to crash and burn. You're probably going to get anxious, and because it was so traumatic, you never wanted to do that experience ever again. That's why we want to do everything in small steps. You don't jump up and try and get to the last step on the ladder. You go up step by step by step. Find your comfort zone and then go just above your comfort zone. Literally here. That is it. We don't want to go any higher. And the goal here is to get comfortable being uncomfortable. This is our baseline here. We want to get to here. We're going to do this activity. We're going to expose ourselves to an activity. So let's give an example. Let's say I want to get confident in social settings. But at the moment, you're not confident at all. You can't speak to randomers because you get nervous. You feel like you're going to waste their time. You don't know what to say. You freeze. You panic. So where could you start if that is you? You could smile at randomers on the street. You could walk past and your goal for the day could be smile at 2 randomers. Literally 2. So that is one step above your comfort zone. And you're going to do that activity until it starts to feel comfortable. You're going to get comfortable being uncomfortable. My mentor said this to me during an MMA fight, and it has stuck with me ever since. And now I use the same quote when exposing yourself to different environments and situations of communication. Once you get to this level where this is your baseline, this is just past your comfort zone, when you get comfortable being uncomfortable, meaning you get comfortable at this level, that's when your comfort zone starts to raise. And then that's when we can set new goals. So that is when this is now your base level and your new activity is going to be here. You see how we've kind of done a stepping formation, and then you're going to do the same again and the same again and the same again. It is literally repeating the process. And the way you do that is by picking activities that exposes your fear. That is the only way you're going to get confident. And I'm going to use 2 different examples, completely different. Let's say you want to get confident in going to the gym, and you just want to feel confident in your own body. So then you go to a writing class and start writing. Do you think you're going to get confident in the gym because you're writing? Absolutely not. The same thing applies to your communication. If you want to get confident doing presentations in front of 20, 30, 40 people at work, but you are working skills to improve your social confidence, that is not going to help your presentation confidence. So I know the gym and the writing is completely different examples compared to these two communication ones, but it's the same thing. You need to direct your focus to what you want to be confident in. It is that simple. And it's all by picking activities that can expose you. And if you want some activities, there is a link below, completely free, and this will help you free your voice. It's all about gaining the confidence. There's 18 activities on there, going through low stakes, which is just you, medium stakes, which is a few, and high stakes, which is all eyes on you. Low, just you, medium, a few, high stakes, all on you. And I do have a poster, I'm printing it out today, so I'm just gonna put it in this corner, and I'll send you that by email. That is completely free. Moving on to the next stage. Let's go back to a black pen, because I like a black pen, not a red pen. But number 2 is competence. Now, competence is all about your skill. This is also dependent on your goal. If you want to be confident in social situations, you most likely want to be competent in those social situations, meaning you have the skills, the knowledge, and the attributes to flow with conversation, to speak to randomers, to network with people at a work event. That's what competence is. That is the skill behind it. Because once you become more skillful, you also become more confident. When I was fighting, when I first started, I was not confident one bit. Not one bit. My first fight, I still wasn't confident. I wasn't confident I'd win. I wasn't confident I'd do well. I wasn't confident I had the gas tank. But I got in there. And that first experience was exposure. But after time and training, my skills started to get higher. My skills started to get better. My ability started to get better. So when I went into my next fight, I felt a lot more competent. And because I felt a lot more competent, I felt more able, I felt like I could actually knock someone out, I felt more confident. And that's the same with your communication. If you can build the skill and you've got a good foundation to rely on and fall back on, you'll have the confidence. Because you know if you get in an awkward situation, you know what to say, you have the skills to say it, and you have the skills to approach it in the right manner. So competence is skill. Now, how do you find out what skills you need to improve upon? Well, it's all about being aware. If you're not aware, it's going to be very hard to do this by yourself. If you are not aware, I recommend getting a coach. If you are not aware, check the links below for my free resources, and that will help you. Because that will give you ideas of what to think of when you are communicating. You can start becoming aware when you expose yourself. You can start picking up on little things. What did you struggle with? Was it keeping them engaged? Because if it's keeping them engaged, it could be your foundations are not quite up to par. Was it when you were talking about a story, you found it very hard to get the thought in your brain out into words? Because that's all about storytelling. Or was it finding out what they like and building a connection with them? So that's about asking them more important questions and linking what they've already said within the conversation and asking new questions that relate to what they've already said so they know they are being heard, seen, and understood. And you do that by building your awareness. But if you're struggling to do that when you're exposing yourself because it's too much of a panic right now, what you can do is film yourself. Now, filming yourself allows you to watch it back and see where you go wrong. Yes, I'll be honest, you're gonna cringe at first. It feels weird, it sounds weird listening to yourself back. Like right now, I'm filming. I'm doing it for YouTube, but I have to edit it. I have to watch myself back. And last video, yesterday's video, I said so a few times when I could have taken it out. So just then I said it. I'm gonna keep it in anyway. I also felt like I wasn't changing my voice as much as I wanted to. So now I'm gonna work on it. So by filming yourself, you get to realize what you're doing right, what you're doing wrong. And if you don't have a clue, like I said, there's free resources below, which will give you guides of how you can focus on certain areas to become more competent. Once you are aware, when you expose yourself, you will realize straight away. Like now, I'll have a conversation. If someone says, I know straight away. Just a thought pops into my mind. I don't even think. And I said When I say which I don't, but it'll pop in. But when I say so, which I do, the thought will pop in, get it out. When I tell a story, I'm thinking, all right, VAX, visual, auditory, kinesthetic, smell. How can I put that in? I'm thinking, what dialogue can I put in? So all these skills start to come into one when you build awareness. That is the whole thing and the whole way you will build competence. Awareness. Number one is filming yourself because there's no risk. When you are exposing yourself, nerves start to take control. So if you're trying to become aware whilst pushing yourself out your comfort zone, sometimes that can be very hard, which is why filming yourself can be number one. I'll be honest, naturally, when you expose yourself, you will start to realize the patterns. Then, from this feedback, you can pick your skills that you want to become competent in. It is that simple. 2 ways to build your confidence. Exposure, get the reps in, do the exercises you need to do to become confident. You need to face your fear. I don't mean do your biggest fear that you've ever had in your life, but step by step by step by step. Find your base level. Go slightly above it and then work on going up the steps. And when you feel ready to do so, you can also improve your competence. But let me leave you with this. None of this will matter at all if you don't act. Watching video after video after video will not improve your confidence. You need to do it. You need to act, which is why I always say exposure is the first one. To improve confidence, that is the first one, because that promotes action, it promotes reps. And the second one after that is then competence, then building your skill. And when you put these two together, you will stop shrinking away from conversations, from presentations, from awkward situations. You will start to become confident and you will know how to react and how to respond. And if you want some more free resources, they are below, and these will give you exercises which can help building your confidence. And also, if you like this video, YouTube is a very smart individual, so you should probably watch this one too.